Batman. And even when we are Bruce, it's then that question of, do I want to talk to Falcone and do I want to be a jerk about it? Or do I want to try to be the aloof playboy? Do I want to look weak? Do I want to start letting that Bruce Wayne part, or the Batman part go out as Bruce Wayne? Sean, is that hard to balance? I feel like Telltale Games are always like, all right, you got to be a good guy, or not a good guy or a bad guy, but you make decisions that then radiate out. And Batman is so interesting. There's usually a core to what Batman is.
So is it difficult? Sure. But all of our games are difficult to make and make really well and make those choices really matter and make sure that the inner relationships you have with the other characters are all really meaningful and deep. So yeah, there's a lot of hard work that goes into it, but it's actually really fun to do and go, okay, we can be, kind of the Caped Crusader Batman or more the Dark Knight, more brutal Batman, and you can make those choices of how you want to go and how you want to play.
And that's what was fascinating about that E3 demo, is the fact that having the first glance at the game and what episode 1 was going to be, seeing those pop up where I think it's a conversation with Catwoman on the rooftop where she's like, well, why do you do this? And the choices pop up and it's like, well, I want to be the hero or I need to instill fear and all. And right there was the first time of like,
or Gotham needs me. Yeah.
Exactly. Because this is, correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin, your own Batman, your own universe. You're playing, this is all your own universe thing.
Yeah, that's one of the great things is Batman has a 75 years of history and there's been all these different takes in the comics and movies and television on what the Batman universe is like. There isn't really an official canon, like one true Batman. Sure. So we're making our own version of Batman, and it starts at a very familiar place where people are going to identify like all the common Batman elements, but it definitely does not finish there. It evolves in a very unique to Telltale way.
He becomes Superman.
He becomes Superman, absolutely.
Tony, for you, here we are, pre-episode 1. What does Batman need to be? When you think of Batman, what do you think of in terms of this is what the character is?
Well, I mean, they always say Batman can take on anyone. He's a brilliant man. He's a great fighter, but it's all about his mind. Has contingency plans, and he's the world's greatest detective. So he needs to be able to take on any situation, be prepared, and dive in there. So I'm fascinated about the idea of delving into the decision-making of Batman. And hopefully I can make the right decisions that Batman would make.
Well, that's the whole thing, and that's what's so weird about it, right? Is that I felt like in previous Telltale games, right? Michonne in particular, where when I was playing it, I felt like I knew that character, so I knew the choices I was making. This is the canon choice of how it should be. But with Batman, it is like, more than ever, the branching paths, and if I want to be the Dark Knight, if I want to be the really brutal Batman, I can do that. But if I want to be, the more, I'm in the gray suit with the blue top, I'm here and I'm going to be nicer and chum and all this different stuff. That's fascinating. That's what I'm interested about and how it's going to all play out. But then talk a little bit more then, I guess, about the fact of how it mutates, how Bruce's decisions affect Batman's and vice versa.
I'll talk Batman first. So Batman, how you act as Batman, if you're really brutal, the city kind of turns against you. So our game is early on in Batman's career. It's not, 10 years in. It's
ballpark
1 or 2 years,
okay,
3 years, somewhere like that.
He hasn't had 15 Robins yet.
Right.
Gotcha.
Exactly. He has had 0 Robins at this point. So Gotham's still not sure how to react to this masked vigilante.
Sure.
And so depending on how you act, Gotham acts different. And so depending on how you act as Bruce with Falcone, like you said, that we showed in the E3 demo, or with Harvey Dent or some of the other characters that we have, that impacts how Gotham perceives Bruce as well. It all kind of ties together in some very cool and meaningful ways that I don't want to spoil.
Is it interesting to jump in and be able to have your own Harvey Dent and have your own Selena Kyle? Because that was the thing I was taking away from it, is the fact that I feel whenever we talk about Batman as a property, as 75 years of history, you talk about the Rogues Gallery, and you talk about all this, his partners in crime and all these different things. To come out and see the way Harvey interacts with Bruce, and then to see the way Catwoman and Batman get to there's something familiar about it with like Batman, Catwoman, and then with Harvey there was something grounded and not, if that makes sense.
Well, it's exactly what Kevin said, is we start in a very familiar place. So if you're familiar with Batman, which I would assume most people are that are picking this up.
If you're watching this, hey, what's up, Batman?
You probably are. We start in a relatively familiar place, and so with characters that you know, and we establish that, but then it kind of goes where you take it. So it really depends on how you play it, how you play with those characters, how you interact with them, how you treat them, in where those characters go and where the season goes.
Based on Batman's decisions and Bruce's decisions, is it possible that maybe somebody we think would become a villain this way won't become a villain at all? Is that too leading of a question?
Yeah, I think there's definitely space where who the villains are in our series emerges from gameplay. So you may choose to do something that keeps Harvey, kind of leans into the good side of Harvey, but at the expense of your relationship with Vicky and things like that. Kind of in a Telltale game, there's no right or wrong answer to stuff. You're just making a mess of yourself the whole time.
There's just different consequences.
So then,
Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
I mean, my question for you guys was then, how did you sell DC on letting you do that? You know, I mean, like, when I think of DC, I think of them protecting their characters and like protecting their toy box. Are they getting better about that?
They're fantastic to work with.
Yeah.
So the way we've kind of approached is we've thought of what we want to do, and we go talk with them, meet with them, and they're really open to us building our own Batman story and not just adapting something that's out there. So we're not trying to adapt any Batman story that's out there. We're building our own Batman story and our own Bruce story. And so they're really open to that. And they are super excited about some of the stuff that we're doing. And they're like, I can't believe nobody's thought of that before. They've actually said it to us. I'm like, 75 years, nobody's done what you guys are doing. So there's some really cool stuff that's going to be surprises in there.
Tony, does that surprise you? You keep an eye on the comic book industry. I feel like being a DC fanboy for my entire life.
I mean, it makes sense that I could see them being very protective, and and there should be certain ground rules. I'm a strong, I believe Batman shouldn't kill.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs to, because the death of his parents that was his driving force. So he would hold all life sacred, even people like the Joker. So I think he's so skilled that he knows how to take down an opponent. The only problem is keeping them locked up.
Exactly.
That seems
Which
to be,
he can't do.
He cannot do that.
Every time.
Somehow in Gotham, that seems to be the challenge. Yeah, and they are very protective.
Oh, sure.
They're not just like, oh, do whatever you want, but they're very open to us telling our own story if it makes sense and fits within the overall construct.
So how did this conversation with DC about Batman start? Like, I think that's an interesting thing. You guys are Telltale, you make all sorts of crazy, amazing games, but did they approach you? Do you approach them?
Well, we started working on things like Wolf Among Us, our fables.
Yeah.
And that's where we got to know each other a little bit. And, Batman is the crown jewel. It's the one of the biggest things on the planet that we could work with.
Sure.
So it's a real privilege to be able to go and play there. It was a process of working on Wolf Among Us and seeing the kind of cool things that we could do with Wolf Among Us, and then talking about what was the next thing we wanted to do.
Did you have to, like, in a way, prove yourself to them? I mean, Wolf Among Us is your first foray out with them, and like, I remember, geez, that was years ago when you guys announced that. That was at that event downtown.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was I wouldn't say Wolf was like a test to see if we could do Batman.
Sure.
It wasn't like a prerequisite.
Okay.
But it was a big step in the evolution of the relationship of all the Batman games that have come before have been stellar. There's been really amazing games, and it's important that important to Warner that we make a really good Batman game.
Sure.
Obviously. So I think we've gotten to a really credible point in the relationship between both companies, and we're like, okay, let's go for it. Let's go for the brass ring. Let's do Batman.
You make a joke, about it's important to them that we don't make a bad Batman game or stuff, but that, in a way, I think, is what's awesome about where we are right now in 2016, is the fact that companies like DC and Warner Brothers take it seriously now, when in the past, maybe not DC or anybody, now they actually want to tell stories and they want to build universes.
Yeah, I mean, look at how good all the Batman games have been
Sure.
so far. And I think our game is a very different take. It offers players a very different way of exploring the Batman universe, but it's going to meets all the same quality that you expect from a Batman game,
Sure.
which is the bar is really high. They've done a really good job of picking partners and working really well with partners, and we're getting all that for us as well.
Sean, are you ready though? Because so many people are going to pick it up and be like, there's going to be all the Telltale nerds like me, like this audience, that pick it up and like know what they're getting, right?
Yep.
But you're going to get a whole bunch of people who are coming over like, all right, why is there so much talking?
Yeah, you're exactly right, and I think that's. we need to educate our audience of this is how this game is different from
Sure.
the Rocksteady games or any of the other Batman games that are out there, where this game is about playing as Bruce, playing as Batman. A lot of it is dialogue, and a lot of it is interpersonal relationships and the machinations of how that stuff changes as you act differently and behave differently, and how you deal with each of those characters in different situations. That's where the Telltale magic is, right?
Yeah.
So for us, and we've got action as well, and we've upgraded that stuff.
Yeah, you use
saw it at
systems,
E3,
right?
and
Yeah.
and it looks and plays.
Hey, what are you...
Get it open. On it. Hey, you think he's gonna show? We'll bring the whole goddamn place down. Stay focused. We'll be out of here before anyone can stop us.
Christ. Move in!
Second floor. I'm going in.
Hey! Wait! Wait for backup!
Don't need it.
Take the stairs.
I heard stories, you know. Sent 3 home in an ambulance. The rest in body bags. No wonder the cops want him dead. Hey, you ever seen him?
Yeah, Gotham Zoo. With all the other flying animals.
Bruce, you can't keep doing this.
I have to. No one else will.
Every drop of blood, everything you've sacrificed. The city is safer now. But it's made you a target. And people will keep you in the crosshairs until you're shot out of the sky.
Criminals in this city. They need something to fear.
Shit! The hell'd he go? Whatever got in, don't let it get out.
Back to back, circle up!
What the hell is this?
I know you're trying to create a myth, but be careful you don't turn into a monster.
Sometimes you need a monster.
Come on! Come on! Come on!
Didn't your mother teach you to knock? Behind you, big boy. Payday.
Stay where you are! You're under arrest!
If you want to be intimidating, you're succeeding. Criminals are becoming afraid of you, so are the police.
It's a scare tactic, Al. Just a performance.
Without a scratch.
So far. That doesn't belong to you.
I was wondering if we'd cross paths.
You broke the law. Here I am.
Cut the shit. The law. Don't tell me that's why you do all this. Squeeze into a suit, tie on a cape. Most people dressed up like that end up in Arkham.
Gotham needs a hero. Someone to hunt down people like you.
So that makes me, what, a villain? Sounds fun. Gotta admit it, though. You give a good chase. One day you might actually catch me.
Tonight.
Don't you know not to corner a wild animal? It's dangerous.
Then let's put you in a cage.
Bring it, Bat.
It's over.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Two of them now? Jesus! Got it! Wait! Do not shoot!
Why go to all that trouble for this?
Shit!
A myth can't be killed. You, however, are flesh and blood.
God damn it! I said don't shoot!
No! Wait!
Guess I was wrong about you catching me. Not sure if it was for my sake, or yours.
Who put you up to this? Answer me or I let go.
But you won't. You're not that kind of guy. Bye, Bat.
Step out of the shadows and be Bruce Wayne tonight.
Oh, that's a much harder fight.
Don't let tombstones be your family legacy.
Well then. Time to save the city.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. A humble district attorney like myself is not used to such a ringing endorsement. Even one who cut Gotham's crime rate in half. For too long, this city has burned with corruption and greed under Mayor Hill's authority. But I promise you, a vote for Harvey Dent is a vote to finally put your foot down. And together, we can stamp out the fire and save our great city. If only Mr. Wayne, my campaign's largest backer, could have heard that applause, he would well, there he is. Fashionable and fashionably late as always. Say hi, Bruce.
Welcome to Wayne Manor, everyone. My apologies for the late arrival.
Oh, not to worry, Mr. Wayne. We've all made ourselves very comfortable. Thank you again, everyone, for your unwavering support. Together, we will change Gotham. Mr. Wayne, thank you for opening your house to us. Now, I know this is the biggest mansion in Gotham, but I don't think you got lost on your way here. Where were you? I know you prefer the brooding billionaire angle, So the sooner we make nice with the donors, the sooner everyone will leave you alone.
Just wanted to make an entrance.
Congratulations, you almost missed it. You are a pillar of this city and my campaign. I need you here, tuxedoed and shaking hands. No one came here tonight to see me.
Some champagne.
They want to see the Bruce Wayne, am I right?
And I can see him just fine from here.
This shouldn't be painful. It's not a kidney stone. It's only a little FaceTime with potential donors. Your face, specifically, with a mouth that's saying, support Harvey Dent. We're the grease, they're the wheels. And they're rolling in enough cash and votes to help make Gotham a place for families again.
I just don't like being someone I'm not.
What are you talking about? You are Gotham's golden sun. Let them bask in your radiant glow. This'll help you too, Bruce. Once I've turned this city around as mayor, you'll be a hero for funding my campaign. Now all I need is a decent slogan. I'm terrible at those. It always makes me sound like a used car salesman.
All right. How about, our hope is in Harvey?
Look at you. That's not half bad. I'm gonna use that. Bruce, I meant what I said. Together, you and me, we change Gotham. A city free from crime, where children can play in the streets again.
That's what I want too, Harvey, but you know how rough it is out there. We have to shake things up to make that happen.
Well, we can start with a few hands, Come on.
Pause.
Mr. Wayne, I'd like to introduce you to
Bob and Regina Zellerbach. Of course I know these two.
Hello, Bruce.
Regina here is the chairwoman of Wayne Enterprises, and her husband
voted for Mayor Hill last time. I'll admit it, Mr. Wayne. I don't know Mr. Dent from a pothole on Main Street, but I trust your family. If you believe in Dent, we believe in you. After all, whoever you support is a reflection on you.
And we trust someone like you to lead this city to greatness.
Well, I'm flattered, truly, but this night is about getting Harvey Dent elected so he can fix those potholes.
I think I speak for half the room when I say politicians are puppets.
Oh, come on now, Bob. I'm not a politician. I'm a crusader. No strings attached.
Old families like ours should flock together, you know, like birds.
You're preaching, dear.
No, it's true. The Waynes and Zellerbachs are reminders of the golden age of Gotham.
This city's luster faded years ago, Mr. Dent. Look at Gotham now. Murder in the streets, corruption in City Hall, that Cape Bat freak dealing out vigilante justice like it's the wild goddamn West.
Oh, Bobby, regarding Golden Age, seems you're getting cranky in yours. There's always hope.
Forgive me for being blunt, but one man can't save this city. And it's a dangerous mentality to think so.
Harvey Dent is our best shot. Put him in a room with anyone for 15 minutes and that grin will win him over.
He's gonna need more than that, son.
Oh, it hasn't been 15 minutes yet, Bob. We've still got time. Don't worry, though. I am not doing this alone. And with Bruce's help, we're replacing the dangerously unsecure Arkham Asylum with a state-of-the-art mental health facility to help Gotham's most at-risk individuals. It will be dedicated to Thomas and Martha Wayne, in the hopes that their fate will never be repeated.
After all your parents did for this city, to be killed in a botched robbery in some alleyway, it was terrible. Truly terrible.
A tragedy like that at such a young age must have been crippling.
If only that deranged man had gotten the right treatment, maybe... Well, I don't like to think about maybes. And I'm sure you don't either.
Yes, well, that was a long time ago. I've moved on.
Of course. Of course.
Together, we'll help the whole city move on. Not saying I doubted you, but that went better than expected.
It is a night of ringing endorsements.
Oh, well, hello. Harvey Dent, Gotham's next mayor, and eager to know you.
Vicky Vale. Not interested. And reporter for the Gotham Gazette.
This is a private fundraiser, Miss Vale. No reporters allowed.
Well, you don't mind if I stay and ask a few questions, do you, Mr. Wayne?
Well, you can ask me whatever you want at the press conference tomorrow.
Actually, I'm here for Mr. Wayne.
Tonight is strictly off the record. We can talk, but nothing gets written down.
I'm okay with that. I was just hoping to see what makes Bruce Wayne tick. This is quite the social event, Mr. Wayne.
Oh, come on now. It's so formal. Call me Bruce.
Well, Bruce, you've been going around pleasing everyone tonight. But how are you doing? You should enjoy your own party before all the champagne runs out.
Well, I'm doing better now that you're here. Well, I'll tell you, if all these stuffed shirts weren't around, I'd give you the private tour.
Mr. Wayne, you've got something on your collar. Is that blood? Yeah. It looks like...
Actually, it's lipstick.
Well, no wonder you were late. Say no more.
Do excuse me, Master Bruce, but another guest has arrived.
I'm sure they'll find the bar.
You may want to greet this one personally, sir.
Carmine Falcone? Is the Dent campaign soliciting votes from Gotham's biggest crime family?
Falcone's never been convicted of anything except being a businessman who loves this city. Excuse us, Miss Vale.
And what kind of business do you think he's in?
The one that controls enough votes to get me into City Hall. This is the necessary evil of politics, Bruce. It's in the service of a better Gotham, for all of us. Look, at least hear him out before you kick him out. Falcone requested to speak with you directly.
I don't like this, Harv, but I'm trusting you.
Thank you, Bruce. Seriously. You know I have to pull every string I can to get elected.
Yeah, well, just make sure this one doesn't hang you.
A word of warning, Bruce? Play nice.
You know, I've been in the market for a new house. Decent walk-up, sky-high ceilings, plenty of room for my cars. I think I'll take it. Though the decor offends my eyes. Oh, man, all flash, no class.
Well, you couldn't afford it.
Yeah, right. Carmine Falcone, thank you for welcoming me into your home. You're a respectable man, I hear.
Gentlemen, perhaps we'll all be more comfortable in the parlor. Follow me, if you will.
You should know, Mr. Falcone, my analysts say we're raising triple what Mayor Hill has... Hey, what's...
Private audience.
Oh, come on, guys. Bruce?
You'll be fine out there, Harvey. I saw plenty of skirts to keep you busy for a few minutes.
Harvey stays with us.
A man's home is his castle. I respect that. Seen and not heard.
Whatever you...
What did I say? Mr. District Attorney here wants to make sure the rules are followed. But in my experience, there's the law, and there's doing what's right. You understand? And I'd rather see Harvey actually help this city instead of just saying he will.
Unlike most people I've met, Harvey actually has integrity. He's trying to make Gotham a better place.
So am I. So are you. Hey, we all carry this city on our broken backs. Might lighten the load if we do so together. I ain't here to chinwag about politics, Mr. Wayne. Gives me indigestion. I got enough of that as is. So, let's talk relationship. Chalk this for me. Be a pal. I can get Harvey the mayor's seat, or I can pull it out from under him. Whatever happened to being a gracious host? Okay, imagine, this is me. And these are all my friends in Gotham. The businesses, restaurants, clubs, docks, unions, politicians. I make them all move. And I want to keep everything moving if Harvey gets elected. That's why I came here tonight to your lovely home, hoping to make a new friend. One who can help Mr. Dent see the light, if need be.
Look, I'm only talking to you because Harvey asked, trusting a friend to know what's best for Gotham.
Now that's a predicament. You listen to me, kid. I know somewhere inside that tuxedo you understand this situation. Money gets money. The risks, the alliances, the hidden costs. Your father knew which hands to shake. And which to break.
Don't you dare talk about my father.
You're getting worked up over nothing. Hell, I knew him longer than you did. People don't say no to me. Not for long.
Master Bruce, your guests are leaving. I recommend seeing them out. You wouldn't want to be rude.
Heed your butler's advice, kid. Oh, and I'm no longer interested in buying the house. The owner's a prick, and he's gonna get what's coming to him.
It's me.
Another brutal week in Gotham, folks. A string of home invasions rippled through the city's already crime-infested East End. Apparently, the bandits are using stolen GCPD battering rams to force their way in, with break-in and entry incidents up 40% over last year. Remember to keep those front doors locked tonight. And we have breaking news tonight. 5 criminals are in custody this evening after a break-in at City Hall. But thanks to the efforts of the Batman, the stolen items were returned.
Not all of them. Let's see what she was really after.
Allegations that Dent may have actually been involved in the break-in. Talk about dirty politics. Does Hill's campaign really think these accusations hold any water with the voters? Or will it be perceived as a desperate attempt from a flailing campaign to take down one of Gotham's most promising young politicians?
And in other news, we are now on day 3 of the factory fire that will not end. Crews have given up trying to combat the blaze at the Otisburg Processing Center, owned by Ace Chemical. Still no word on what started the fire, but whatever's burning in there has resisted everything the fire department has thrown at it. They're recommending people avoid the area and seek immediate treatment if you happen to breathe in any of that tar black smoke.
And one mobster's murder caused quite a headache for commuters this morning. The body of Falcone family capo Louis Pistachio Garmone was found hanging off the side of the 4th Street Bridge sometime just before dawn, causing traffic to back up for miles as the cops cut him down. Random stabbings are the latest headache for the riders of Gotham's overcrowded Skyrail cars to contend with. Gotham police are investigating multiple cases of riders receiving abdominal wounds from an ice pick or other pointed weapon while pressed into the tight quarters with fellow passengers. A few have died, while most have been admitted to Gotham General in critical condition. The police don't have any suspects at the time. 2 more patients have gone missing from Arkham Asylum, bringing the total number of escapees from the half-prison, half-mental hospital to 15 this year. Only 3 have been caught to date, but all the escapees highlight the rough, some would say inhumane conditions at the aging asylum. The latest, 44-year-old twin brother and sister Leon and Valerie Muldoon, should be considered dangerous if found. Authorities are asking that you do not approach and call police immediately. Mayor Hill's Gotham Beautiful Act takes effect today, making it possible for landlords to evict tenants immediately and without cause. The new law was created in order to allow Gotham City's biggest property owners greater ability to modify and improve the city's aging buildings, some of which have been occupied by families for decades. So if you come home from work tonight and find all your stuff on the street, don't worry. It probably isn't anything you did wrong.
And if you can believe it, now you can't even trust the valets. More on this after the break.
Mayor Hill says he's tough on crime, but since his election, violence in Gotham has skyrocketed. And when he was presented with legislation that would have dismantled organized crime in the city, he vetoed it, killing Gotham's chance for a safer future. Maybe that's because the rumors of Hill's connections to some of Gotham's most notorious mafia families are true. We don't need another gangster running the city. We need a crime-fighting hero. With over 200 successful convictions, District Attorney Harvey Dent just might be the hero Gotham needs. But he can't save our city alone. He needs your help. He believes that together we can make a dent in Gotham's crime. But it starts with you. Vote for Harvey Dent and elect a real crime fighter to Gotham's mayoral seat.
I'm Harvey Dent, and I approve this message.
Nearly fell off a building for this?
Talk about dirty politics. Does Hill's campaign really think these accusations hold any water with the voters? Or will it be perceived as a desperate attempt from a flailing campaign to take down one of Gotham's most promising young politicians?
And in other news,
Let's find out what was so important.
factory fire that will not end. Crews have given up trying to...
Encrypted.
Wayne Manor has 7 bedrooms, 2 kitchens, a library, a gymnasium, a basketball court, and a movie theater. And yet I always find you here, in a dark, damp cave, in front of a computer.
I'll leave as soon as I finish. People with regular jobs can do their work anywhere, but for me, this is my office.
I agree, it isn't normal work. Even worse, the best outcome is that no one ever finds out you've done it.
Yeah, well, good deeds usually go unnoticed.
Though not unappreciated. Did you find out what that, Catwoman tried to steal?
Well, in the process.
What are we looking at?
Let me try a different angle. This is a map of the East Side shoreline. But it could mean any number of things. Money, weapons, drugs, everything flows through that port.
Maybe it's where Mayor Hill picks up his dry cleaning.
Can't make sense of it yet. There's still plenty of files to decrypt.
And in the meantime, I saved you what I could.
Thanks, Al.
Yeah, the same couldn't be said for the bar. I had to literally pry Mrs. Zeller back away. But you'll be pleased to hear everyone has left, including Mr. Falcone. Before the game switched from billiards to cutthroat, I'd recommend leaving the fistfights to your alter ego. Bloodstains are much harder to remove from a tuxedo.
I had everything under control.
It's true. I've seen you take down worse thugs. But I'd already sewn you up once tonight, and I had no interest in a repeat performance. For the record, your father despised men like Falcone, thought they ruined Gotham's stellar reputation.
Back when it still had one?
It can again, Bruce. Though people like this Catwoman aren't helping. Is she new to town?
Never seen her before. Hopefully, she's just a tourist. Oh, no, I already checked the codex.
Not much to find, apparently.
Few burglaries, break-ins. Seems to lay pretty low.
You could learn a thing or two from her. You can't step outside without it ending up in the news lately. As Bruce or Batman.
I stay out of sight when I need to.
Define need to.
Whenever Harvey calls. That guy's exhausting.
Well, after the press conference tomorrow, I'll mark your calendar as exhausted then. The media isn't good for anyone's health. I don't mean to beat a dead argument, but...
No one's gonna figure it out now. Trust me.
Miss Vale noticed your injuries, so did Mr. Dent. If they put it together with the incident at the mayor's office, it would undo all the long nights and close calls we've endured to get here. You're in the spotlight more than ever. You have to be careful.
You're right. I should have canceled the event.
I know how much pressure you're under. I don't mean to add to it.
It's okay. I know you're only looking out for me.
If we make a suit that fits me, we can trade places some night. Though I'm not partial to heights. Old men worry, that's all. It's our gift and our curse. One more worry for the list.
I thought I saw Oz. It's been, what, 20 years? Last time I saw him, we were in grade school.
Indeed. You two were thick as thieves. Oswald, however, took that role more literally than you.
Dishonorable discharge, illegal boxing matches, arms dealing, prison stints?
That's a criminal grand slam, if I'm using the expression correctly.
Unfortunately, you are.
Oswald claimed he only wanted to catch up, but his behavior following his family's collapse is troubling. Why he's returning now, I haven't the faintest idea.
I think he just wants to reconnect. Criminal record or not, he's still an old friend.
A lot can change over the years. If I remember correctly, Oswald was fond of the old firecrackers in the toilet trick. I worry what he's graduated to. Even though you and young Master Cobblepot used to be close, I'd advise you to be cautious. But I know you can't abandon a good mystery until it's solved.
I'll be careful, Alfred.
When you see what's become of his park, I think you will.